Pop Smoke became one of the hottest rappers in hip-hop in the span of just a few months. The 20-year-old rapper from Brooklyn, New York, captivated the entire hip-hop scene after his unique and catchy drill songs went extremely viral online. The first Pop Smoke song to gain mainstream attention was titled "Welcome to the Party," which has over 74 million views on YouTube at the time of this recording. The next successful song by Pop Smoke was "Dior," which skyrocketed his fame and popularity to the next level after reaching millions of views online. Dior eventually became Pop Smoke's first platinum single and really solidified his place as a talented artist in hip-hop. The rising success of Pop Smoke even had hip-hop fans comparing him to the legend 50 Cent due to their similar cadence and boss-like approach. Everything was going unbelievably well for Pop Smoke up until February 19, 2020, when TMZ broke the heartbreaking news that Pop Smoke was no longer with us after a home invasion in Los Angeles. The news absolutely shocked music fans across the world, with everyone wondering who did this to Pop Smoke and why. The answers to those questions would only be able to be answered by the LAPD, who shockingly had none. That was until a few weeks ago, when the LAPD made a statement claiming that they've captured those responsible for the passing of Pop Smoke. Curious on how the LAPD solved this case? Well, then we've got you covered. Here's an exclusive inside look on how the LAPD solved Pop Smoke's case. In February of 2020, Pop Smoke was in Los Angeles to celebrate the release of his second mixtape, Meet the Woo 2. While he was in Los Angeles, Pop Smoke and his entourage were renting an expensive Airbnb home in the Hollywood Hills, which was later revealed to be owned by the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Teddy Mellencamp and her husband Edwin Arajave. During his stay in Los Angeles, Pop Smoke was out partying and going on luxurious shopping sprees, all while posting multiple photos and videos of those experiences on his Instagram page. One of those posts in particular was a 10-second video clip of Pop Smoke showing off his Amiri bags, which unfortunately included the address of the house he was staying at right on the label. There was also another post made by either Pop Smoke or his friend that showed the two flexing in front of a Range Rover, with the house number clearly visible in the background. This sadly caught the attention of 4 Hoover criminals, who ultimately used this information to run up into Pop Smoke's Airbnb, which unfortunately resulted in the passing of Pop Smoke after he was shot multiple times. After this incident occurred, the LAPD quickly began to investigate the scene by collecting evidence as well as interviewing witnesses, from those who were in the home to close-by neighbors. The people who were inside of Pop Smoke's home at the time this situation took place were detained by police while being questioned, and apparently were extremely uncooperative, as you would probably expect since, no snitching. The LAPD claimed that the little information they were given from witnesses was extremely unreliable and sketchy, stating that their stories were either proven to be false or that they simply just couldn't stick to their original story. This caused a major roadblock in the LAPD's investigation. The only thing the LAPD thought they knew at the time was that this was a targeted hit and not a robbery. Those types of statements led Pop Smoke fans to believe that this was all an inside job, set up by those who were close to Pop Smoke and in his inner circle. Several months passed, and Pop Smoke's case was still unsolved, with little to no leads on who committed this act. The only new information that the LAPD had to give to the public was that the entire investigation process had been slowed down due to coronavirus, which resulted in very few detectives and resources available to help find the suspects in Pop Smoke's case. This news had a lot of Pop Smoke fans thinking that this would be one of those unfortunate circumstances where a rapper passes away and those responsible will never be brought to justice, such as Tupac or Biggie. That was until early July, when 50 Cent and Pop Smoke's label manager Steven Victor sat down and spoke with Ebro Darden, telling him this: "I'm getting information from Pop's criminal attorney and he's in communication with LAPD and the detectives out there. It's definitely way closer than it was a couple of months ago. Justice will definitely be served." And, well, Stephen Victor was right, because in the early morning of July 9th, 2020, the LAPD arrested 5 suspects on warrants related to Pop Smoke's case. The 5 suspects were 18-year-old Keandre D. Rogers, 21-year-old Jaquan Murphy, 19-year-old Corey Walker, and 2 other juveniles whose names were not made public due to them being minors at the time of the arrest. Various media outlets reported that the LAPD solved this case the old-fashioned way, by going door to door interviewing everyday civilians in hopes that they saw or knew any inside information that they've not yet heard. They also went and obtained security camera footage from neighbors and nearby businesses, which played a big role in tracing the suspects back to Hoover Street in South Central Los Angeles. Upon arresting and interrogating the suspects, the LAPD retracted their first theory of this being a targeted hit and changed it to a robbery gone bad. It was also noted that authorities think that the social media posts made by Pop Smoke, revealing the address and expensive purchases, are what inspired the unfortunate events to take place. The LAPD also suspects that those involved in Pop Smoke's case were also involved in another case dating back to September 14, 2019, which resulted in the death of 18-year-old Cameron Stone at the Rose Bowl parking lot in Pasadena, California. The 3 adult suspects are currently still in custody and are each being held on a $1 million bail. This is overall an incredibly sad situation. The world lost an extremely talented artist, all because a few criminals thought that they could come up on a successful rapper visiting their city. Pop Smoke was only 20 years old at the time of his passing and had such a bright future in front of him. His posthumous album, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 Albums chart, with over 250,000 sales in the first week. This goes to show you how much people adored Pop Smoke and his music. And it's such a shame that his posthumous album will be his first and also his last album. While we'll never get to see what Pop Smoke would have become in the next few years, it's at least nice to see that those who caused his tragedy will be brought to justice and will hopefully spend the rest of their lives behind bars. And I really appreciate the LAPD for all the work they put in to make this happen. If you enjoyed this video explaining how the LAPD solved Pop Smoke's case, then feel free to leave a like down below. Also, if you're interested in seeing more content just like this, press the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be notified whenever we upload. Also, if anyone has any interesting topics that they would want to see covered on this channel, then comment down below and I'll take a look into them. That's all I have for today. I'm out.